The courtroom was dead silent as Detective Morrison read the charges. Brenda Walsh, you are under arrest for extortion, fraud, illegal entry, and identity theft. I watched our former HOA president crumble like a house of cards in a windstorm. The woman who'd spent 6 months terrorizing our neighborhood with fake emergency protocols was now facing felony charges. Her perfectly styled hair was disheveled, her power suit wrinkled, and for the first time in years, she had nothing to say, Your Honor. Her lawyer stammered. My client was acting in her official capacity by extorting money from residents. The prosecutor cut him off by changing their security codes and holding them hostage. Brenda's panicked eyes found mine across the courtroom. I gave her the smallest nod toward my laptop bag, the same bag that contained 6 months of digital evidence documenting her criminal enterprise. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting someone hang themselves with their own rope, especially when that rope is made of deleted emails and security footage. Let me take you back to where this beautiful catastrophe began. 6 months ago, Brenda Walsh wasn't just our HOA president, she was our neighborhood's self-appointed digital overlord. Brenda had discovered the internet sometime around 2019 and decided she was a tech genius. She'd installed cameras everywhere, created a neighborhood app nobody asked for, and demanded access to everyone's smart home systems for community safety. But her masterpiece was the Emergency Access Protocol. All residents must provide their security codes to the HOA, she announced at our monthly meeting. For emergency situations, I raised my hand. What kind of emergencies? Fire? Flood? Medical situations where first responders need immediate access. Don't first responders have ways to get into houses during emergencies? Brenda's smile was sharp enough to cut fiber optic cables. I'm trying to streamline the process, make our community safer and more efficient, by having everyone's alarm codes, by being prepared for any situation. As a cybersecurity consultant, I knew exactly how dangerous this was. But Brenda had somehow convinced enough residents that this was normal, necessary, and definitely not a massive security risk. I was the only holdout. Big mistake. Brenda didn't take rejection well. When I refused to hand over my security codes, she launched a full-scale harassment campaign disguised as community safety initiatives. First came the violation notices. My mailbox was improperly secured. My Wi-Fi network name was inappropriate. It was FBI_surveillance_van. My smart doorbell was recording community members without consent. These violations could be resolved quickly, Brenda would say during her increasingly frequent visits, if you just cooperate with our safety protocols. You mean if I'd give you my alarm codes? I mean if you'd participate in community security like everyone else. The woman had turned my neighbors into her personal surveillance network. She'd convinced them that I was being difficult and putting everyone at risk by not complying. But I had something Brenda didn't know about, a very particular set of skills. As a cybersecurity expert, I'd learned to document everything. Every interaction with Brenda was recorded, every email saved, every violation notice photographed and time-stamped. I also had something else, a very sophisticated home security system that Brenda knew nothing about. While she was focused on my front door alarm, I had cameras in places she couldn't see, motion sensors she couldn't detect, and a backup system that uploaded everything to the cloud in real time. When Brenda escalated her campaign, I was ready. The escalation came during a business trip to Seattle. I'd been gone for 3 days when I got a call from my neighbor, Mrs. Chen. Alex, there's something wrong with your house. What do you mean? Brenda's been going in and out all day. She says there's a gas leak, but I don't smell anything. I checked my security app. My system had been disarmed 2 hours ago. Mrs. Chen, I need you to call the gas company. Ask them if they've had any service calls to my address. 20 minutes later, she called back. No gas leak. No service calls. Alex, what's going on? That's when I knew Brenda had made her fatal mistake. I caught the next flight home. When I arrived at my house at 11 p.m., my own security system wouldn't let me in. The codes had been changed. There was a note on my door in Brenda's distinctive purple ink. Due to emergency maintenance and safety violations, this property has been temporarily secured. Contact HOA for access restoration. Hotel voucher attached. For your convenience, the voucher was for a motel across town. The cost, $89 per night, to be charged to my HOA account. I called Brenda immediately. "Oh, Alex, you're back early? I hope the motel is comfortable." Brenda: "What did you do to my house? We had reports of a gas leak. I had to secure the property for everyone's safety. There's no gas leak. The gas company confirmed it. I just called them. They haven't been to my house. Well, they must have made a mistake in their records. Change my codes back. Now, I'm afraid I can't do that until the safety inspection is complete." "What safety inspection?" "The one scheduled for Monday morning. It was Thursday night." "Brenda, if you don't change my codes back right now, I'm calling the police. The police won't help you with HOA matters. Besides, you're welcome to stay at the motel until this is resolved." She hung up, while I spent the night at the overpriced motel. I did what I do best. I investigated. My security system had been keeping perfect records. The cameras I'd hidden throughout the house showed Brenda letting herself in with a locksmith, spending hours inside my home, and then changing all my codes. But the real smoking gun was her digital trail. See, Brenda had been using the HOA's email system to coordinate her little scheme. She'd been messaging other residents, telling them about my gas leak and how she was handling the situation. She'd also been billing the HOA for my motel stay, the locksmith, and something called emergency property management. The woman had created a paper trail of her own crimes, but I wasn't done investigating. I wanted to know how she'd gotten into my house in the first place. It took me 3 hours to find it, but I found it. Hidden in the metadata of Brenda's emails was something beautiful. She'd been using my own security codes all along, the ones I'd never given her, the ones she'd somehow obtained illegally. A little more digging revealed the truth. Brenda had been using her position as HOA president to get copies of everyone's home security information from the installation companies. She'd told them she needed the codes for community emergency services. She'd been breaking into people's homes for months. My house was just the first time she'd been stupid enough to lock someone out and charge them for it. Friday morning, I showed up at Brenda's house with a laptop bag and a very serious expression. "We need to talk. Alex, I hope the motel was comfortable. I've scheduled your safety inspection for Monday." "I know what you did." "I don't know what you mean. You broke into my house. You stole my security codes. You've been doing it to everyone in the neighborhood." Brenda's face went pale. "That's a serious accusation. It's about to become a serious charge." I opened my laptop and showed her the footage. Brenda entering my house. Brenda changing my codes. Brenda billing me for the privilege of being locked out of my own home. "This is all perfectly legal," she said, but her voice was shaking. "Really?" "Because I also have this." I showed her the email metadata, the security company records, the pattern of break-ins across the neighborhood. "You've been running a criminal enterprise, Brenda. Fraud, extortion, illegal entry, identity theft, and you've been stupid enough to document everything. You can't prove anything." I just did. I called Detective Morrison that afternoon. By evening, Brenda was in handcuffs. The investigation revealed the full scope of her operation. She'd been entering residents' homes regularly, stealing small items, and using her position to cover her tracks. She'd been billing the HOA for fake services and pocketing the money. My lockout was just the tip of the iceberg. But here's the beautiful part. Brenda had been so confident in her emergency protocols that she'd never considered the possibility that someone might have better security than she knew about. She'd been performing her crimes in front of hidden cameras for months. The trial was a masterpiece of digital evidence. email metadata, security footage, financial records, witness testimony. Brenda's lawyer tried to argue HOA authority, but it's hard to claim legal authority when you're caught on camera stealing jewelry. The prosecutor was brutal. Mrs. Walsh, did you have legal authority to change Mr. Chen's security codes? I had emergency authority. There was no emergency. There was a gas leak. You fabricated the gas leak. I was protecting the community by stealing from them. Brenda's face went through every color in the spectrum. The jury deliberated for 45 minutes. Guilty on all counts. Brenda got 3 years in state prison plus restitution to 17 families. The HOA dissolved rather than deal with the scandal. Property values actually went up once word got out that the neighborhood kleptomaniac was gone. But the best part, the federal investigation that followed. See, Brenda had been using her fake emergency protocols to get security codes from installation companies across 3 states. She'd been running a multi-state burglary ring disguised as community safety. The woman who thought she was a tech genius had created a digital paper trail that led the FBI straight to her door. As I watched them haul away boxes of evidence from her house, I couldn't help but smile. Brenda had spent months trying to get into my house, to control my security, to make me pay for the privilege of being her victim. In the end, all it took was letting her hang herself with her own Ethernet cable. Sometimes the best revenge is just having better cybersecurity than your enemies. Welcome to the digital age. Brenda, hope you enjoyed your stay.